Oh, hello, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV. I've just been walking around Coerthas while I waited for this queue for about 10 minutes. And for whatever reason, this is the first time I've noticed this structure they call the nail. I'd never noticed it before. It looks like it's like some sort of wrecked giant airship or some shit that like stuck in the mountain. Maybe it's another fragment of Dalamud. Got me. I don't know. I never noticed it before, and the game never really talks about it all that much. Anyway, we're finally getting into Stone Vigil. And, there be dragons here. Of varying size and type. Like we've got an Ora man wearing a wedding dress. Yep. And then Bunny for a healer. Another Ora man for Black Mage. If you're wondering why I'm not wearing my Dragoon pieces, it's because they get synced down. And in some slots they would be an upgrade, but I really don't care to use Glamour Prisms on them right now, just to look the same or whatever. The gear I had before was, you know, good enough for here. But, I'll be using them in all future dungeon content, so I'll get them back on soon enough. Glad we still have Doom Spike. It's one of my favorite animations. In the original game. I wonder if they're all from Diabolos. where that worsen pops down, if you keep running over the area again and again, eventually it'll come back and breathe fire on you again. So don't be scared, just move through it, take fire damage, keep going. This used to be one of the dungeons that was considered difficult, because it's the first real like tank gear check, where like if your tank is wearing paper mache, they're gonna get torn apart even by a single group of enemies. And there's some optional treasure rooms that have lots and lots of enemies in them. And so it's also sort of like a healer intensive, more healing intensive than the other dungeons as well. The bosses are also more dangerous, and as far as length goes, it's not super duper long, but due to the extra difficulty, it originally took quite a bit longer because people were hesitant to pull and wanting to be safe, and sometimes wiping more often than other dungeons. I distinctly remember, not my first time in it, but like one of the first times I did it, and also all throughout 2.0, sometimes when people would get this dungeon, they just automatically quit. It's not as grievous an offender of that as some of the later, one particular dungeon that comes later, but yeah, it's definitely the point where, you know, the more casual players that just didn't, you know, they couldn't handle an ounce of difficulty, they would just be like, screw this, I'm out. And so that happened more frequently. If we'd gone right, we'd gone to a room that has a treasure box in it, so I'll come back and get that at the end of the dungeon. I think it's like a 90% chance to have like a, or maybe it's 100% chance, it has an ethereal weapon that's like level 41 in it, something, level 40. So it's like basically the tier of weapon I'm currently using, but it's ethereal, so it's automatically as good as high quality, and it has randomized substats. Also, I didn't mention it yet, but between last time and this time, I did all of the remaining guild hests. I wanted to show them on the Let's Play initially, but then I thought about it and thought, well, no, especially with the current state of the game and how they don't go back and balance for older content. Like, the point of the guild hests is to teach you mechanics, and really only one of them enforces its mechanics at all. And even that one is relatively mind-numbingly boring and so short that given the queue time, it's really not worth trying to line up to show you, because they're actually barely worth doing. The only reason I did them was for the money and the challenge log, because, well, at this level, the challenge log entry for a guild hest is actually worth the EXP amount, the time invested. Later on, it sort of falls off and it's not worth it anymore. Getting everything. And there's a box in here. I think it contains either, yeah, mildewed crap that you can craft into better stuff, or I think occasionally it'll have like Ishgardian mason work, mason stones in it. That might be the next treasure box. It's been so long I really can't remember. Also, it's kind of funny, in Stone Vigil, the general rule of thumb is the larger an enemy actually is, like in its physical size, the less HP it has. Like those cockatrices and the Evises and the Drakes and stuff, they have less HP than the poops. It's really strange. Like it runs counter to what you'd seen, you know, like earlier in the game. Mechanics for this fight are pretty simple. Isgabine comes down and starts spitting ice breath into the room. You shoot her away by shooting her with a cannon. And the boss will turn towards the DPS, or anyone who's not the tank, and spit a tornado at them, which will then linger. If you stand in it, you get wind burn and you eventually die. Also, if you stand by the cannon, it locks onto the closest cannon that the person's standing to, and will linger on the cannon for the rest of the fight, making you unable to shoo Isgabine away. I guess I'll switch this. Tank gear, woo! Policy for lotting gear right now is, even though we can't use any of it, lot all of it so we can turn it in for seals if we win it, which we're not guaranteed to win it at all, so that kind of sucks, but it's whatever. Feeling some Mandela effect. I was pretty sure that the Evises in this dungeon were immune to stun, but I might be thinking of a later dungeon. They're one of those inconsistent monster types where, like, in one set of dungeons, you can stun them, and in another set where they appear up here, you can't. We're doing it. We're doing it. If you actually pull this room, though, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter with all these increased potencies. But it used to be a good idea to everything in the room is linked, to pull it all outside so that you could more tightly pack the elementals. They're casters. They're more annoying to group. You can use the walls to line of sight them and control where they go, sort of. But that's whatever. With these increased potencies, nothing is gonna live very long. Oh. Hey look, a bridge to Ishgard. And Ishgard itself. A very big, bright moon. And we get a cutscene here. The Enterprise. It's covered in snow. Just beyond that enormous sleeping dragon. Maybe we can sneak by it. The dragon is not our concern. We have come for the airship and only the airship. Sid, you and I will sneak aboard the Enterprise and prepare it for launch. Clyde, you stay here and keep an eye on the beast. If it wakes, we may need you to provide a distraction until we are ready to depart. You can manage that, can't you? That settles it then, shall we, Sid? As you command. Sid's like, I still don't got my memory back, so I'm gonna follow you, you stupid little kid. Alpha No's not past his insufferable phase yet. Ooh, an Ascian. So you mean to slay Garuda next. Interesting. Most interesting. Most interesting. And you are aware that her strength greatly exceeds that of your previous primal conquests, a testament to the fanatical devotion of her followers. The Ixal are nothing if not zealous. In spite of your past achievements, I labor to believe that you will best this foe. Yet only a fool would underestimate the great bringer of light, slayer of Ifrit and bane of Titan. If any mortal is capable of defeating the Lady of the Vortex, it is you. Win or lose, the battle should at least make for an entertaining spectacle, assuming, of course, you live that long. Oh, he's doing it again. Wouldn't have bad enough that we could have possibly had to contend with the dragon. But now it's been buffed up with darkness. Although it's probably already 3/4 of the way dead, since the party's already fighting it. But, you know, such is the price of watching cutscenes. Blasphemous gifts serve you this time, Crystal Bearer. Okay. Okay, yeah, it's already over halfway dead. Thanks, teams. It's okay, they don't have to wait. It's just a little bit sad is all. And the healer's dead. Alright, well, almost dead. Okay, cool beans. Let's go ahead and get the jump on. Break. So we'll go ahead and let it break. Second time that's happened. Maybe I had like a double press and they've updated it so you can cancel it by pressing limit break again? Ah. The dive bomb mechanics that Combine does is they do throw a lot of people for a loop sometimes, but yeah, it's basically just dodge. Right, just move fast and dodge. Don't sit still. And you know, don't be silly. Oh, I got one of the unique dances. All I've got is dance. Storm salute. There's a treasure chest I want to go back and get, so hopefully this Coco guy leaves again. You know, I actually think this Coco Black Mage, didn't we, like, he looks very similar to one we had in Brave Fox Longstop a day or two ago. Might be the same one. I can go check the video. But first, let's go get the treasure chest I was talking about. We'll probably have to die to get it because there's going to be a Ziz and either one or two Pooks. And they, we could probably deal with the Ziz one-on-one, no problem, but the Pooks, they have their physical attack and then they have an extra, like, global attack that they use. That's the windstorm attack that they have, like their wind breath. And that'll just tear us up because we're not a tank. But, yes. We can get the treasure, and if we die, then oh well. Death's not very punishing in this game at all. All it really is a time waster. You okay? Tick? Ooh, I wonder if it came off of Max. It's possible. Maybe I should check myself for him too. Oh, there's no way I'm gonna look through this. Oh god. Kill me with windstorm the next chance it gets. Oh god. Oh god. Can I use the potion yet? No. Yep. Oh, okay. Should just grab the treasure box. If I could have killed the Pook or something. Maybe I should kill the Ziz first, because it's got less HP. I don't know. Hey. Ah, son of a bitch. Ah well. That's true, the pooch. I'm I'm not gonna wait in here for 10, no, is that 12 and a half minutes to just go back to the start to get an ethereal weapon that I should have grabbed instead of trying to fight. Oh well. You just have to take my word for it. There's a treasure box behind that Ziz and that Pook that gives a level 40 ethereal weapon. Is it small or is it big? Small? Can you... Okay, it looks like a wood tick, so it's not that bad, but still. You might want to go, like, flush it or put it in the trash. Oh, we get another crystal. I feel like the developers have a bias towards blue. That's the second blue crystal. We got a water crystal and an ice crystal. Why do we need both? Ice and water are the same thing. I see now why the others rated you so highly. When you were caught in the midst of the etheric bubble with the dragon, I was all but certain my next mission would be to find a new champion. Thank the gods for sparing me that inconvenience. I have quite enough to do already, which reminds me, Sid is working on the Enterprise as we speak. Let us go see what he has to say. I'll probably need to have you check me. Yes, though it will not be a pleasant ride. Well, I dare say it will be no more unpleasant than staying here. 'Tis a pity the Enterprise is not in a better state. Though she will allow us to quit this place, I shall not complain. If all are in agreement, let us return to Gridania. Though I would like nothing more than to set course for the Howling Eye, it is plain the Enterprise is in no condition to weather the storm. She must needs be repaired if we are to proceed with our mission. Isn't he a hunk of a scientist, huh? Guy looks like he works out 5 days a week. Look, he has no wrists! He has no wrists! Where we're going, we don't need wrists. You'd figure the balloon portion would need to be like reinflated or something. But maybe it's like a steel dirigible or something frame or whatever, and it's just full of helium that couldn't escape even if it tried. I don't know. And here we are in Gridania. Ah, how I've longed for the more agreeable climate of the Twelves wood. Yet I will not deny the Holy See had its charms. Endless detours aside, our Ishgardian jaunt proved quite an adventure. Alas, our work is far from done. We still have an airship to prepare and a primal to slay. No rest for the heroic, eh? Into the eye of the storm. Sid appears to be deep in thought. Sid's gonna ask us to get some crystals first, because they're trying to give us more EXP. There's going to be a dramatic jump in the level we need for this next few storyline quests. So that's why it was good to get a lead. It calms me to look at her. It's as though I've been reunited with a part of me I never knew was missing. Hardly surprising, you did design and build her. I'd give these characters voices, but later on they have actual voice acting. They have enough voice actors as it is. I bear good news. The Seedsters have granted our request to house the Enterprise. We may take as long as we require to repair her. Of course, it would be rank folly to take one moment more than we require. Garuda, lest we forget, grows stronger by the hour. If we are to have any hope of wresting this benighted realm from her talons, it must needs be soon. Though I am no expert in the workings of airships, it seems plain to me that the Enterprise suffered much more from her time in the wilderness. Am I not correct, Sid? You are. Frankly, it's a miracle she carried us this far. As you know, the Howling Eye is encircled by a raging tempest, apt to turn proud trees to matchwood. Our battle will end before it begins if the Enterprise cannot weather the storm. Given time, I believe I can fully repair her. Damn right you can. But if this tempest is as fearsome as you say, even that may not be enough. Confound it, there must be a way to brave the fury of the elements. The elements, but of course, that's it. We work upon the element itself. Using the power of a corrupt crystal, we could clear a path through the storm and spare the Enterprise a battering. I see, you propose to utilize the properties of a crystal to alter the elemental aspect of the barrier. It seems so childishly simple in retrospect. Well, you are still a kid. Though mayhap not to you, Clyde. We speak of the manifestation. Oh, you're just gonna call Clyde out like that. The fact that he's a dumbass. That's okay. He has good fighty think, like Goku. So that's all that he needs. It's what, like ice or earth? Camp Drybone, huh? Mark's met him, huh? Okay. Okay, boss. Also, excuse me. Sorry about all the burping. Now, we've hit level 47, and we're back in our Gridania here. And this is another reason I like but having your Grand Company in Gridania. Because of the way the main storyline has you loop back through it, this wasn't like precisely planned. I just sort of hoped it would happen, that it would work out. Like I'm no H.C. Bailey. I don't do test runs at all for my Let's Plays. I just go at it like some sort of ham-fisted charlatan. Anyway, but you know, like routing is something you can always sort of, like if you know a game well enough, you can plan a route and sort of have it go. And at level 47, we get access to yet another dungeon. It's a very infamous dungeon that you know, that we it's connected to your Grand Company. What's this? Seeking Solace? Oh, Beastman Quest. Okay, whatever. Gilding the Bilious. Ah, Sergeant Werbenhide, ever the shining example to your fellow serpents. Time and again you have risen to the call. Today I would give you the opportunity to add to your growing list of accomplishments. In return for the battle chocobos provided us, the Holy See has petitioned our aid in purging the cavern known as Orm Vale of its most foul inhabitants. Our contact from Ishgard, Sir William Elmis, will apprise you of the particulars of the mission upon your arrival. So, let's see. This is needed. This dungeon is needed to be. You need to do it in order to rank up to second lieutenant. So, and you need to have this quest active as well. And of course, to get this quest, you have had to have done the quests that had you go through Dismail Darkhold, called, you know, Shadow's Cast. And you know, it's simple enough, but the kind of annoying thing about Dismail Darkhold and Aurum Vale, because that's the dungeon name we're going to, is the Aurum Vale, is that they are tied to two different quests. To try to get as many people to go through them as possible, they gave them each a side quest access route and a Grand Company access route. So there's a couple of you know, ways to go about that. And Dismail Darkhold's side quest is in the Observatorium, whereas Aurum Vale's is over here with Nadric Ironheart for some godforsaken reason. For some reason, it's already letting us access level 50 quests for Wanderer's Palace. Heard we're in the same trade. You're in better shape than me, though. The mishap at the Wanderer's Palace nearly did me in. Boy, was it worth it. The calamity drained near half the water from Bronze Lake, and there it was, an ancient temple of Ascian. Why is it called a palace, then? It beats me. I just went looking for treasure, me and my feller. It was like a dream, that's what it was like. The water hadn't done a thing. There were gold-framed mirrors bright as the moon. We gazed upon ourselves draped in chains of pearl, dancing on a floor of marble and malachite. Like a king and queen, me and my feller. A daring do adventurer like yourself wouldn't say no to a chance like that now, would you? Tell you what, go down to the docks west of Camp's Bronze Lake and talk to Abazi Chirazi. He used to be a boon companion of mine. He'll ferry you to the palace. Okay, we'll unlock that too. Why not? We can't go into it till level 50, but we'll unlock it. You're one of Aline's, aren't you? That one has got a ghost in her attic, you know. Keeps sending other adventurers to that damn place she calls a palace, thinking you're gonna bring her feller back. 'Twas 7 of us that day, one of them her feller, my best friend was another. As soon as we walked in, a Tomberry attacked. It was dark, and we couldn't get purchase on the floor, which was covered in lake slime, then in blood. What's more there's to say, only Aline and I made it out by the grace of the 12. Everyone else is dead. Think I'd leave him behind, leave my brother by another blood, if I hadn't seen what the Tomberry left? I saw no treasure there, only death. I've said my piece. You still want to see for yourself, that's your business. I'll ferry you there, for my adventuring days are over, and I'm a boatman on this lake. She thinks they all live, you see, all 5 of them, hiding from the Tomberry somewhere in the palace. She tried to flee the infirmary. She told folk about her friends needing rescuing, then she got sly. Ah, poor lost Aline. So she lied to us. How about that? We'll go there at level 50. It's actually one of my favorite dungeons in the game. And it's related to the Scholar level 50 quests as well. The Tomberries in this game get a nice little backstory instead of just being cute little things that walk up and doink you to death. So there's that. We teleported to Mordona because it's the closest area to the Aurum Vale. I'm going to be coming back through Mordona quite a lot as the story gets, keeps going. Also, we might as well stop putzing around and equip our Dragoon gear, I suppose. Probably gonna take the glamour off of the thing. I can't stand how the pauldrons clip through the spikes of the Draken mail, so there we go. We can be a little bit exposed. Hail, adventurer. Wait, do not tell me. Nedrick sent you. Tell me this, adventurer. Do you know how the Orm Vale earned its most enticing name? Well, allow me to enlighten you. The cave is rich with sulfur and mithril ore, which, through reactions with the groundwater, combine to exude golden-hued fumes. A beautiful sight, that is, until you realize the damn death clouds are burning your chest from within. If you still wish to take your life in your hands, I'll not be the one that stops you, but do try not to get killed. I've dragged enough corpses out of the Vale to last me a lifetime. From the Order of the Twin Adder, I presume. Yes, I suppose it's like he just didn't talk to me at all. Like, this is why I kind of hate this shit. But, the Holy See is not one to beseech assistance from foreign armies, but the task before us is a daunting one. Our own knights are occupied with matters of greater importance. Mayhap you have already heard the rumors of Orm Vale. Many a miner has been lured into those cavernous recesses by promises of vast fortunes to find only death, and doubly so. If the noxious fumes don't get them, the carnivorous fronds that lurk are happy to oblige. Little we can do about the former, but dispatching the latter would go far in sparing the lives of unfortunate treasure seekers. So it is that we turn to you. Alright, alright. Seems cool, seems cool. But, well, we're not gonna queue for that yet, not in this episode. We've got to go finish our level 45 Dragoon quest after all, and get Spine Shatter Dive. And probably listen to Sir Albric exposit at us for like another half hour. Now don't get me wrong, I love the Dragoon quest line, and I like all the lore tidbits we get, but some of them just get straight up overwritten later by the story, some of them are out and out lies, and others of them just wind up being completely irrelevant later on, so, tells us so much stuff, and like half of it might as well get cut out. I forgot about upgrade. Oh well. Also, something interesting about the Orm Vale and Grand Companies. While the Grand Company did have a quest for it originally, it wasn't tied to promotion. The promotion quest for Second Lieutenant was originally tied to a dungeon called Amdapur Keep. And it was kind of funny because the weapons you can get as a second lieutenant, they're only as good as weapons that you get out of Wanderer's Palace and Amdapor Keep. So it was kind of, you know, like if you made it through Amdapor Keep, it was kind of redundant. Like the reward you were getting from your Grand Company was, you know, worse than what you'd gotten from the dungeon already. You left this place as a man, Clyde, but you return as a dragon. There is no more for me to teach you. From here, your battle is yours and yours alone. Now, you might recall me saying that the fifth and final piece of the dragon armor was not mine to give. However, that is not wholly true. I could guide you in the direction of that which you seek. That said, I yet have reservations. The sheer power of the dragon house within is such that a great many of your azure forebears, myself among them, have proven hopelessly incapable of wielding it. But I do not doubt what I see. Within you has awakened a strength that forever eluded the likes of me. If you're not worthy of wearing the armor, then I know none who are. Remember my warning to you, Clyde, and heed it well. Nidhogg is a lord among his kind. Aught less than complete conviction, and you will surely fall under his thrall. Before you can master your foe, you must needs master yourself. Hone your lance arm till it can bear no further honing, and then present yourself to me. When the time has come, I will tell you what you need to know. I look forward to our next meeting, my young dragoon. Now what he said there used to make sense when level 50 was the level cap, but, you know, it no longer makes sense. So, let's come back at level 50. And Spine Shatter Dive is a weaker version of Jump that doubles as a gap closer. I don't get why they left it as a weaker version, since it no longer inflicts stun, right? Like, it was weaker before because it inflicted stun, but it doesn't do that anymore. So the only reason I could see that it's weaker now is because it's a gap closer. But, I mean, it just seems sort of dumb. Like, why is a higher level ability weaker than the lower level ability? Eh, you got me. Anyway, let's plug a little more of the main story, because I think I've got about 10, maybe 15 minutes more that I can record. So we gotta be able to get Sid some of his crystals. Maybe. Hey look, it's another Ellison. Well, I'm not really the man of science guy. Oh man, we gotta go all the way to Golden Bazaar. We can't just like buy one from an NPC like right here in Camp Drybone. It's annoying, I tell you. At least we have enhanced movement speed, though. Get the job done quicker, or more quickly. Munificent merchant. You get a pot, and you get a pot. Everyone gets a pot. Ahem. Get a bit carried away when disposing of older merchandise. Any road, take my pot, please. That was an Oprah reference. This is indeed an unremarkable piece of rubbish, but for our purposes it shall suffice. Now observe, as this scholarly skillfully, almost dropped that, skillfully coats the interior of this pot, just so. There, it's finished. You no longer need fear the crystal's transformative energies. Though I suppose you will be bombarded with its energies until you place it within the vessel. Well, perhaps it shall motivate you to work quickly. In any case, I would now have you take the warded pot to Hahasako, a sewer mine monitoring the flow of aether at High Bridge. Okay, sure. Seems legit. Yeah. Damn geography always getting in my way. That guy's riding a dragon. I'm not contemplating suicide, you imbecile. I have chosen this precise position to perform scientific measurements. You thieving knave, I shall call for the made especially for you by the man himself. Deepest depths, huh? Burgundy Falls, huh? Burning wall, huh? Treacherous and terrifying, you say? Sounds like my kind of place. The map gets sort of weird here. It's not entirely accurate. I think, anyway. It's been a while since I've been here. Maybe I'm not entirely accurate. Back in the day, when 2.0 was relatively new, I got a couple of my friends out here and I took a screenshot to their characters and I gave them to this art friend of mine. And I paid her like, I think it was like $60 or something like that. I don't really remember. I gave her a generous tip too. And she drew their characters. And they were gorgeous. They loved it. Kind of sad though, because it didn't stop them from fantasiaing their characters into O-Rahs when the O-Rah came out. They both went O-Rah and they never looked back. Yeah, the map is not exactly standard. I remember now. I know I should have gone with my gut. I think. Oh, it's been way too long. We'll find it. We'll find it. And if the episode cuts out, well then, my apologies. It shouldn't, though. That guy's name's the same as it is forwards as it is back. Maybe I have forgotten the way. They're messing with us with the Z-axis again is what's going on here. And where that marker is actually, it's like down in the water at in the valley. And I don't rightly remember exactly where the path is that takes me down there. If you've gotten used to how I do things by now, you'll know that the next episode starts out with... It's going to start out with me queuing into Aurum Vale, with the queue popped already. So, look forward to that. I know I am. Aurum Vale is actually really, really, really good for EXP. You go from 47 to 50 in that place in like 4 runs of it. Super easy to get levels. Oh hey look, a bait with a gigantic owl. Surely we'll be able to kill it. Maybe. Perhaps not. Oh dear. Oh. Excuse me. Valiant effort, Paliador. Paludor. Let's see, what's the fate say? After showing absolutely no signs that there were any more consistent masses of metal, debris falling from Dalamud 5 similar paths, coming to life, and brutally attacking those unfortunate enough to come across the inorganic creatures. One of these mirror knights, as people call them, has been sighted destroying a farmstead nearby. There's no farm even close to this place. Page description.